Hey guys, 7 WWE Rocks here, and I am here once again to do my Lucha Underground review for this week's episode, which was August 2nd, 2017, of course, and the Cueto Cup would continue as always. I say as always because it's been going on for a long time, and if you've watched my recent reviews, you know I haven't been the biggest fan of it just because with them taping so many matches in advance, the first few matches aren't that exciting just because you put a guy that's much better against one guy you know is going to lose. So hasn't been most exciting. It's starting to heat up though, and I'm actually getting a little more excited about it. Once again, I just feel like I haven't been enjoying Lucha Underground as much since it went on hiatus, and I feel like not a lot of people really have. I feel like on Twitter, social media, and all that stuff, not a lot of people really talk about it as much. I don't know what the main issue is, but it seems like it's all these sorts of things. And I get excited to do the reviews just because I like talking about wrestling and seeing thoughts and comments on the videos. But I also kind of don't get excited as I used to do a review for the episode because Lucha Underground, the storylines and stuff, I'm just not as invested and excited. So we'll get into this. I'm gonna try to keep it quick because I didn't take a lot of notes for the matches itself, of course the winners and such and all that greatness, but not usually I do different spots and I say favorite moves and stuff. But some of these matches I got lost in it, and the second match is fantastic. So I'll get into all this, but I'm gonna try not to take too much of your guys' time. But if you are listening to this, I do appreciate it. Leave a comment. I love to see comments on my Lucha Underground reviews. I would like to see more comments, not just Lucha Underground review, but all my videos in general. But Lucha Underground review, I've talked too long. Let's get right into it. The episode kicked off with Dario Cueto feeding his brother Motanza as he's in that little jail cell. He had all these, it looked like these guts and blood all over it, on a batter. So he puts it in front of him, and he basically says, you need to control your hunger because it's going to lead to the downfall of both of us. And he did it he set the plate out of reach, so Matanza couldn't even grab it. So he had to control his hunger, and that made him pretty furious. But that's all Matanza was in this episode. I was really disappointed because this episode was called the Hunger Within or the Hunger something. It was the Hunger something, I think, not the Hunger Games. It was the Hunger something, and I thought Motanza would be in it towards the end or something. But no, this was the only time he was in it, so I was pretty disappointed with that. Moving on to the kickoff match, which was Phoenix versus Pindar in a quarterfinals match for the Cueto Cup. Phoenix, I freaking love. Pindar is that guy from the reptile tribe that Cobra Moon runs, but he's the shorter one. He's not that big giant dude. So Pindar beat Cage in the first round, I think, because Cage destroyed the ref and he got disqualified. So it was one of the first disqualifications in Lucha Underground history. But this match, I wasn't really looking forward to. I kind of felt like Phoenix was going to win, or if he didn't win, Drago or Cobra Moon would screw him. But I didn't think they keep Pindar going this far. So, of course, at the end of the match, Phoenix hits a Spanish fly or a C4 off the top rope, slamming Pindar down on the mat. And then he gets on the top rope, does a double knee stomp, stomps his knees directly into Pindar's gut, and Phoenix gets the 1, 2, 3. So basically, the only time Pindar had control of the match is when Cobra Moon distracted Phoenix, and at one point she grabbed him and choked him while the ref was distracted. But I've heard good things from Pindar, not Pindar the character from Lucha Underground, but I guess his independent or maybe stuff in Mexico that he's done. I've heard better things, but in Lucha Underground, he hasn't really excited me at all. But I'm glad Phoenix moves on. Next, we had a backstage segment where the Worldwide Underground was shown in Dario Cueto's office, and Dario Cueto was saying, I give you opportunity after opportunity, and you guys cheat, and yet you still can't get the job done. And he tells them if any one of them interferes in the main event tonight on Johnny Mundo's behalf, they'd be done in Lucha Underground forever. And they want to get an opportunity next week, which would be, I believe he left Jack Evans out of it because Jack Evans' mouth is wired shut, so I guess he can't wrestle. So like the entire like backstage segment, Jack Evans was talking, yet you couldn't understand what he was saying because of his jaw being wired shut. But Dario said PJ Black, Taya, and that other guy. I knew I was gonna forget his name too. It's that other guy that like pretends to be Johnny Mundo to like join his group and be cool. But next week they're gonna get a chance at winning an Aztec medallion, which could then lead for the Gift of the Gods championship, and that's a big championship in Lucha Underground. So if they got involved in the main event, they wouldn't be able to do that. So moving on. Next, we had Prince Puma versus Dante Fox in a freaking nuts match. It was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna say all these moves and stuff because frankly I wouldn't do it justice, and I just butcher it. And honestly, in my reviews, I really don't like just saying move after move exactly what happened throughout the entire match as a review. I like to think more of my reviews as saying like the end game, what the result of the match, and like my thoughts from then on. I don't like doing the whole move after move thing. I know some people enjoy that. Let me know in the comments. What do you prefer? Do you like when people review matches and they say like every single move, or do you like it when they just a few moves, the big points in the match, and all that stuff? But definitely go back and check it if you missed it. It felt like they piled in all these insane spots that like in just a short span. It wasn't even a short span. It was a good amount of time for a match. And it was a lot of fun. Prince Puma and Dante Fox, they both did crazy moves. They're both solid. But I think we all knew Prince Puma, of course, would get the win, and that's what happened. He did a big drop kick in the corner, like the Finn Balor drop kick to a guy, sending him into the corner to Dante Fox, and then hit the 630 to get the 1-2-3. So after the match, Prince Puma left, and Killshot came back, and he attacked Dante. He did a double foot stomp off the top rope onto Dante's back, and then did this crazy finisher thing that I can't even explain, but laid him out, grabs the mic, and says, "You're right, Dante, this is far from over between us." So the fans were actually booing him, but I thought Killshot was supposed to be the face in this, but that attack definitely made him look like the heel. So I guess Dante's the face, but he attacked Killshot too. So I don't really know who's heel and face, but they both hate each other. Something happened bad in the army that they never going to get into. But yeah, awesome match. Definitely check it out. Another one was the next segment was at the police station with Cortez Castro, as he's an undercover agent, and he's showing that lady boss, or she's watching Cage like murder him in a match, and she's like, good work, you suck, whatever. And he's like, he's a machine, he's a monster, whatever. And then she says that Cage has murdered people. He murdered the state's not state senator. I don't know. It was some law guy it was the guy that he punched his head off with, but I forget what his actual role is. But basically he says, or Cortez is like, I'm not going to be able to get Cage. And she's like, I don't need Cage. I want his glove or whatever, the big thing that he wears, the Thanos glove that he has. And I'm like, you just said he's murdered people. You're a freaking undercover cop. She's like the big chief at the police station, I guess. And you don't care about that he's killing people. You just want his shiny gloves. Freaking women, come on. Always asking for like the things, the gloves, the jewelry, not the actual murders. Come on. I don't know what's going on here. At first, I really liked the undercover cop thing with Joey Ryan and Cortez, or Castro, whatever. But I feel like they have no idea what they're doing with that. They just like randomly are like, let's make them undercover cops. And then like I thought they were actually going to be cracking cases, but just people continue to die. This is a horrible police station. That's all I have to say. But yeah, next, Johnny Mundo versus Dragon Azteca Jr. in the main event. Rey Mysterio's family was actually here at ringside. His wife, his son, Dominique, I believe is his name, and I believe his daughter. So they were there ringside. I'll get to that later, but a good main event, solid main event. Lucha Underground always has a great main event, but usually it's what takes place after that, has people talking or excited. But a really fun main event. Dragon Azteca, he's awesome. He did a senton over the top ring post to the outside. I love when wrestlers do that. It's like the classic PWG spot. He did that. It looked amazing. And then he did like a cart. What do you call it? Like a cartwheel, wheelbarrow, like roll thing off the top rope, slamming Mundo to the mat. That was really cool too. It was a solid match, but the finish came kind of out of nowhere. It was kind of weird because I felt like I looked away for like a second and I looked back and Mundo just hits the end of the world or Starship Pain, whatever you want to call it, and he gets the 1, 2, 3. So I felt like usually, you know, when he sets up Starship Pain, he does a big move, you know, to set it up and you're like, oh, the end is here. But yeah, I just felt like I looked away for like a second and I looked back and he's won the match. So I'm like, okay. But the big thing, of course, was the aftermath. So Mundo starts attacking Aztec Jr. again. He puts his neck around, or a chair around his neck, and then he's gonna hit Starship Pain again until Rey Mysterio comes out, kicks him in the head, throws him out of the ring, making the save. So Mysterio, like, makes sure that Dragon Azteca Jr. is okay. He goes to his family, you know, like hugs his wife, kisses her, you know, hugs his son, hugs his daughter, and then, you know, shakes the fans' hands all around and leaves. That's when Mundo comes back, that old Mundo, and he gets in the face of Rey Mysterio's family, and he gets in the face of Dominique specifically, excuse me. And Dominique gets up, and he's like, square up, let's do this. Dominique's ready to fight. I feel like he is so tired of this wrestling program bull, you know what, and he's just like, let's do this. So, of course, this kid, if you're like a wrestling personality, I guess, or your dad or family member wrestles and you're ringside, you know it's about to go down. It doesn't matter what age you are. I mean, freaking Rey Mysterio and Eddie were fighting for his custody at 8. Now he's like 18. He can't get away from these storylines, it seems like. And Mundo, like, slaps his face away, like, shoves his face, and they're about to go. And all of a sudden, I cannot believe this, Lucha Underground security comes out. I don't ever remember Lucha Underground actually having security. It seemed like anytime people have been thrown off things, smashed through Dario Cueto's ceiling, there's never been security to be like, all right, guys, calm down. Apparently, no, that's not the case. There's security. So freaking security comes in to, like, separate things. Rey Mysterio comes out to make the save, and the Worldwide Underground attack him. They grab him. They make sure he watches as Johnny Mundo takes the heavyweight title and smashes it into Dominique's face, into Rey Mysterio's son's face as he watches on. You know, brutal stuff. That's where this title comes in, the title of the video. Of course, Lucha Underground review, but this is personal. Johnny Mundo made it personal. He beat the crap out of his son right in front of Mysterio, and it made the world title, like, match a lot better. I feel like I'm much more excited now. I was obviously excited because it's Mysterio versus Mundo, and they're both amazing. But this is like that extra oomph for it. So that's really cool. So that was a good way to, like, end it, I guess. But of course, Lucha Underground has that, like, dark backstage segment where this is what happened. Phoenix is shown, or Melissa Santos, she's shown walking out. Phoenix is behind her, and he's like, Melissa, can I walk you home? Or walk you to your car? And because they got a little flirty angle going, they love each other or whatever. And she's like, sure. And she's like, my car's there. And he's like, there? And she's like, yeah, there. And he's like, oh, there. Like, no joke. They said there 4 times, and that was supposed to be funny. Like, they were like, haha, we said there a lot. I'm not asking. I know it's wrestling, and I know there's supposed to be like a love storyline, but I'm not asking for, like, Steven Spielberg writing, but Lucha Underground writers. We can have a little better flirty stuff than this. This can be a little better. So they're walking to their car, and her line, her like, you know, to flirt with him, I guess, is, do you wear the mask all the time? We've seen she's been friends and, like, flirting with him for a long time. This has been going on for a while. And that's the question she asked. And he's like, yeah, always. Well, always in the ring, but not always. That was his dialogue. And I'm like, I pray to God this is not them coming up with this. This is, like, the writers, because that's pretty bad. And I'm just watching this like, oh my gosh. Like, if I said something like that to Melissa Santos, she would slap me. Are you kidding me? That would be the stupidest thing to say. And then it got kind of weird where he was like, I only wear the mask for special occasions. And then she kind of cut him off. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, does that mean like he'll wear it, you know, if something goes down with him and Melissa? You guys catch my drift. I know you guys know where I'm leading. But anyway, Marty the Moth is shown, and he's just staring creepily, and he's like, I'm going to take that mask off you, Phoenix, and she's going to see how ugly you truly are. So this storyline is continuing, obviously, with Marty and Phoenix, which I'm okay with. But let's do a little better lines dialogue-wise to spice up this relationship, if you will. So that's my Lucha Underground review. I did drag it out a little too long. I need to get better with that. So sorry about that. If you are listening or watching, I do appreciate it. Leave your comments below, what you think of Lucha Underground, any questions I guess I asked during the episode, let me know your answers or whatever. If you enjoyed the episode, enjoy the review. Thanks so much for listening. Next week, I probably will do a Lucha Underground review just because I did one today, like this week, because honestly, when I woke up this morning and stuff, I was like, I'm just going to catch Lucha Underground later. I'm not going to do a review. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm enjoying it. They've had great matches, obviously. Prince Puma, Dante Fox was amazing. But storyline-wise, I just really don't care. And I feel like it's kind of fallen off the map. But we'll see. Thanks so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Follow me on Twitter at 7WWERocks. I really do appreciate if you have listened or watched. And just thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and have a great night.